we are finally making this video after a long time of not doing it, and that's simply just because during this race actually I got a concussion and then just never really got around to making the video. So here we are on row 34 with Ben Kelly, and we're just going to try to come in behind him. Know he's going to be fast, so if we can keep up with him, we'll be doing good. So you can tell he's already inching it out on us here little by little, but it's really fun to follow these guys, see what they do, and try to learn a few things from them here and there. So real quick, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of an update, I know I already said got a little concussion at this race. It wasn't anything super bad, just had a couple headaches and stayed off the bike a little bit, but I'm over that pretty much, and really just kind of trying to figure out what I'm going to do for next year and in the future, just figuring things out. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Had a pretty solid season. I think we'll probably do like an update video, some sort of, I don't know. But anyway, let's get to the racing here. So today we have some primo conditions. This is like the best conditions I've like ever seen. Got some rain the week before, and then on row 34 here there's some ruts, some berms, but it's not super choppy and it's just good stuff. So we are having a treat here right now. So right there, that's one of the good things about being on a little bit of a later row, being able to see some lines, and then also following somebody. You can kind of see where they go and see where the trail goes a little bit better too. But I didn't hear any complaints from anybody, whether they were on row 10 or row 80. I think it was all pretty good. So yeah, we definitely got a good trail here. So at this point, you can kind of tell Ben has creeped away pretty good from us right now. You may be able to see him or hear him every once in a while still, but he's pretty well gone at this point, and I'm just kind of trying to ride my own race here. But this place has quite a bit of clay, a little bit of sand, and a little bit of rocks here as we dive off the trail. Don't really know if that was the best idea, but saw it, so I went for it. But anyway, yeah, this place is a pretty cool place. Got more open woods. There's not too much tight stuff, not too much hills, and really just a pretty cool property. They had an ISDE here a while back. I can't remember quite the year, but I think it was in, I'm sure somebody can go comment down below, but I want to say it was like the late 90s or something they had. Oh man, alright, don't crash there, Noah. Okay, so just this, we're in the first test here, so I'm just trying to put down a good time right now and trying to jump over that little ditch, but then there was a turn after it, so I was like jumping and then on the brakes as soon as I landed, and we about got tossed over, but made it through, and we're just trying to complete this test here. So we're probably a little over halfway done with this test at this point, and some of the tighter woods here, like I said, most of it was pretty open, but there are little sections here and there that get a little bit tight. Okay, so right now I'm feeling pretty good. You don't really know how you're doing. Of course, the first test, especially, like, well, you know, I'm going fast, feeling all right. But usually I kind of pump up during the first test just because I'm still getting warmed up, still trying to get going for the day. But this one we had about 3 miles of transfer, I believe, and so that was nice, just kind of being able to get the blood flowing through the body and get warmed up a little bit before we actually started racing, and kind of took that time to try to move around on the bike and just get loosened up. So this test, fortunately, with that time, we did just that, and we're not really super pumped up here. Of course, it is an enduro, so we're trying to ride intense and fast and get the job done, but not really pumping up, which is awesome because usually the first test, that's usually my issue. But feeling good here, and just getting going. So this race here, I mentioned it was in Oklahoma. It's close to Tulsa, and this is the closest national race to my house. So it's kind of like the local national race for me. It's still about 2.5 to 3 hours away, but not a bad drive at all. And the other close-ish one is the Ironman GNCC, which is still like 7.5 hours away. So definitely this one is the closest one by far. But getting into some of the trail here that has some rocks in it and some slick stuff. With the moisture being in the ground, the rocks got a little slick, and you just had to keep solid momentum, stand up, even shift up a gear sometimes through some of the stuff. I know we're out of them now, but standing up, picking a line before we get to it, keeping that momentum, and even shifting up a gear, and just kind of let the bike work underneath you. So that's kind of the tip of the day for you guys. It's just slick stuff, pick a line, keep your momentum, and a smooth throttle. Little bit of a ledge there, we're jumping down, and we're into some of the more elevation and tight trails that we have here. See, there's some more of those rocks, and the rocks here, they're not really loose rocks. It's more like kind of ledges and rocks that are stuck in the ground for the most part. So a little bit different from a lot of the stuff around here in Missouri, but like I said, it's not too much different because we are about 2.5 hours away. So in the end, it's still pretty similar to what I'm used to, other than there's not as much rocks, and we don't really have sand around here. So that's the main difference, is we have way more like gravelly stuff, and then like no sand, and not really any dirt at all, to be honest with you guys. So I knew Stu Baylor was on the row behind me, and I knew if I could get through the test without him catching me, we'd be putting down some pretty good tests. So that's like a minute difference. But unfortunately, I heard him coming. He's back there. So we're going to get over to a spot where we can pull over here and just let him roll on by, and then try to jump in behind him. And hopefully it'll take us to the finish here. So we're getting to the end of this test, and I almost did it without him catching me, but not quite. So we're just going to try to keep up with him this last little bit. And one thing that I do want to point out with him is going through the stuff, for the most part, I think he tries to be pretty smooth with everything. Of course, it is an enduro, so you're kind of hanging it out, but then coming out of the corners where he knows he's going to have that traction and drive, he's really aggressive getting on the throttle and going out of the corners in places, straightaways, and places that he knows he can be aggressive. So we're going to finish out this test number 1 here and get on to the next one. But we had a good day going until that 5th test. I crashed and kind of ended my day there. But that test, we finished 10th overall and 3rd in the Pro 2 class, I believe. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys later.